Someone says something, a disagreement happens. Maybe it's small, maybe it's something deeper, and then silence. No reply, no explanation, no acknowledgement. You send another message, still nothing. Hours pass, sometimes days. You start wondering what happened. Did I say something wrong? Are they angry? Are they punishing me? This is the psychology of the silent treatment. And despite how quiet it appears on the surface, silence in relationships is rarely neutral. In fact, silence can be one of the most psychologically powerful forms of communication. Because when words disappear, the mind fills the space. Let's start with something fundamental about human connection. Humans are wired for responsiveness. From infancy, our nervous systems learn safety through interaction. A baby cries, a caregiver responds, a child speaks. Someone listens. Responsiveness signals security. But when that response suddenly disappears, the brain interprets it as a disruption. Something is wrong. This activates the attachment system, the psychological mechanism responsible for maintaining closeness with others. When attachment feels threatened, the brain searches for repair. You reach out again. You analyze what happened. You replay conversations in your mind. Because unresolved silence creates uncertainty, and the brain hates uncertainty. Now here's something important. Not all silence is the same. There's reflective silence, when someone steps away to regulate emotions and returns later to talk. And then there's the silent treatment. The difference is intention. Reflective silence creates space. The silent treatment creates distance. In the silent treatment, communication stops not to solve the conflict, but to control it. And that's where power enters the picture. When one person withdraws completely, the emotional balance shifts. The person speaking becomes the one waiting for a reply, waiting for explanation, waiting for reconnection. This imbalance can create anxiety because the brain begins interpreting silence as rejection. Research on social pain shows that being ignored activates the same neural regions associated with physical pain. In other words, your brain processes exclusion as injury. That's why the silent treatment can feel so intense. It's not just frustrating, it's destabilizing. Now let's look at the psychology of the person using silence. People use the silent treatment for different reasons. For some, it's a form of emotional defense. Conflict feels overwhelming, so they withdraw to avoid escalation. They may not intend to punish anyone. They simply don't know how to engage without becoming flooded emotionally. For others, silence becomes a strategy. Instead of arguing, they remove access entirely. Silence becomes a way to express anger without speaking it. A way to say, "You hurt me. You don't deserve my attention right now." And in some cases, silence can even become a form of control. Because when communication is withheld deliberately, the other person often works harder to restore it. They apologize repeatedly. They try to explain themselves. They overcompensate. The silent person holds the position of emotional authority. They decide when the conversation resumes. And that control can feel powerful. But here's the paradox. While silence might provide temporary control, it rarely resolves the underlying conflict. Problems that are ignored tend to grow quietly. Resentment builds. Misunderstandings deepen. Distance increases. Because relationships rely on communication to repair tension. Without repair, emotional cracks remain. Another psychological layer here is interpretation. When someone refuses to speak, your mind automatically creates stories. Maybe they don't care anymore. Maybe the relationship is ending. Maybe they've already moved on emotionally. None of these conclusions may be accurate. But silence leaves room for imagination, and imagination often chooses the most threatening possibility. This is called catastrophic thinking. The brain prepares for the worst because uncertainty feels unsafe. But here's something equally important to understand. Sometimes people believe silence is the safest way to manage anger. They fear that if they speak while upset, they might say something damaging. So they shut down completely. In those cases, silence isn't meant to hurt anyone. It's meant to prevent harm. The problem is that without explanation, the other person can't tell the difference. All they experience is absence. That's why healthy communication requires one simple but powerful step: naming the pause. Instead of disappearing, someone can say, "I'm upset, and I need time to think. I'll talk about this later." That small sentence changes everything. Because it replaces uncertainty with clarity. The pause becomes temporary, not threatening, and the relationship remains intact during the space. Now let's return to the emotional impact of prolonged silence. Over time, repeated silent treatment can change the way people behave in relationships. The person receiving it may begin to self-censor. They avoid bringing up concerns, they suppress opinions. They walk carefully around conflict. Not because they agree, but because they fear emotional withdrawal. And when people feel they must silence themselves to maintain connection, the relationship loses authenticity. Communication becomes guarded rather than honest. But here's the deeper truth. Silence itself isn't the real issue. Avoidance is. Conflict is unavoidable in close relationships. Two different minds will always disagree sometimes. What determines relationship health isn't the absence of conflict. It is the presence of repair. Repair means returning to the conversation, explaining what hurt, listening to what mattered, rebuilding understanding. Without repair, silence becomes emotional distance. But with repair, even difficult conversations can strengthen connection. So if you've ever been on the receiving end of the silent treatment, remember this. Your mind may interpret silence as rejection, but silence often reveals more about the other person's coping strategy than your worth. And if you're someone who tends to withdraw during conflict, that doesn't mean you're manipulative. It may simply mean you learned that silence was safer than confrontation. But safety built on avoidance rarely lasts. Real safety in relationships comes from communication that is imperfect, sometimes uncomfortable, but honest. Because connection isn't built through perfect harmony. It's built through conflict that eventually finds its way back to conversation. On Psychtrum, we explore the invisible psychological patterns shaping everyday behavior and relationships. And in the next video, we'll explore another quiet dynamic that affects modern communication. Why some people suddenly disappear from conversations without explanation. I'll see you there.